see, because he's going to end up starting a massive company. He's going to join forces, and it might be another social chain, and it might... Do you know who this is? Stephen Bartlett. He is the owner of the Diary of the CEO podcast, one of the most popular podcasts out there, specifically if you're into going down a bunch of rabbit holes, spirituality, etc. The BBC has just attacked him. He is English, he is UK, lives there. And the BBC has just attacked him, saying that there is a harmful health misinformation in the Diary of the CEO. And they go into detail on a video that you can find on YouTube. Here's what I have to say about it. He has almost 10 billion followers. These are the people that he has interviewed. Their attack on him is that they're saying that he doesn't question his guests enough. He drilled them enough to find out if whether that doctor, that lawyer, that CEO, that billionaire is telling the truth or questioning their abilities, their expertise, their medical profession, their certification. Wait till you hear this one. The best thing that has ever happened to him. This is a blessing in disguise. And if you're listening, Stephen, this is a prediction that I'm going to make for you for your near future. I'm doing this clairvoyantly, but then I'm going to be looking at your birth chart for just a second. So he's a British entrepreneur, investor, and podcaster, and he found the social media marketing company Social Chain in 2014 and 2017, started the Diary of a CEO podcast, which is one of the most famous, most listened to podcasts. Obviously, they're using him to control the narrative in Britain so that they can dismiss podcasters, sue them, maybe even throw them in jail for misinformation that can threaten the rest of podcasters only in the UK. I won't be surprised if he doesn't move to the United States. Most of this has to do with the fact that he didn't question a lot of people in the experts in the healthcare industry. They're stating that he has moved more towards the last several videos that he's done has been attacking the healthcare industry, which isn't the case at all. He interviews hundreds and thousands of people from all diverse backgrounds and educational backgrounds and expertise. Nevertheless, they found 14 sites digging through his podcasts of when he should have questioned. One of them was a doctor that believes that carnivore and ketogenic diet does not feed cancer cells, so therefore can help with cancer. Another one had to do with diet and a diet regime. Now wait, I'm going to talk about his future, but when do we expect him, Stephen Bartlett, to be an expert as a medical doctor, to question a medical doctor? He's an interviewer. He interviews people. If we did that, went down that rabbit hole, then what about Oprah Winfrey? Do you think that maybe we should have questioned every single expert on Oprah Winfrey's TV show and that she should have questioned them? Should she have questioned, let's say, Dr. Phil? Oh, Dr. Phil, you just told this family that if they don't go down this couple, if they go down this road, that they're going to end up divorced. You just compromised hundreds and thousands of families all over the world that could end up divorced because of you. Oprah, you didn't question them enough. You should go to jail. No, we don't do that. That's insane. He's not a journalist. He's not an investigative reporter. He's not an investigator. Why don't you go and check out some of your investigative reporters and see if they're actually questioning some of the people that they're talking about, or the corporations or the companies that they're talking about, or the politicians for that matter. But no. Okay, let's see, because he's going to end up starting a massive company. He's going to join forces, and it might be another social chain and a media outlet. Let's take a look at his. So this is his birth chart here, and let's take a look at Uranus. There we have it. So Uranus is hitting 29 degrees, and his Venus. Okay, now I don't know what time he was born. I don't have that exactly, but it's going to be hitting in April, May, and June. mostly in May. And this is really, really important. This is going to be a sudden, unexpected limelight or headlight liner that he's going to be presenting. It will happen to him all of a sudden, unexpected, unpredictable. He doesn't even have any clue how this is going to turn out for him. He may have plans in place. I love this Moon Mercury stuff. He's a very caring, nurturing person. There is a shy part of him. There's definitely a money making. He wants to make money. He likes to make money. He likes his shiny, blingy stuff. He has an addiction to the desires that he wants. His home, his life home, his home environment is extremely important. But the one thing that he never wants to be known as is someone who doesn't care. Everything that he presents on his podcast has not only these people are famous and they're popular, so I want them on, but it also embodies a sense of nurturing and caring for his audience. And he's very loyal as well. There is nothing negative that I'm seeing in his chart right now. We want to take a look at also where Uranus is in his chart, which is the fourth house. So his home and family. But that could be the move. See, Uranus comes in and completely changes the dynamic suddenly. And often Uranus can indicate a move. So I would predict that there's a good chance that he'll be setting up a two-home environment, UK and the United States, with a permanent move most likely in 2027. Yeah, Saturn's hitting his Mars, the 20. So this is definitely going to affect his income, his financial. So they're going to hit him with a lot of penalties, financial penalties, probably in the hundreds of thousands. They're going to make it look like you've done misinformation to, let's say your audience is 10 million people. What would the cost be of harming 10 million people with their healthcare choices due to your podcasters' advice and your spreading disinformation? And this is the fee, the cost. And he may have to do a bankruptcy of sorts, rebrand himself, and move where it's not illegal for him to interview people. Because that's what the BBC, that's what I see Britain is starting to do, is we want to get our pharmaceutical back in control. We make a lot of money through our pharmaceutical industry. There's a political agenda, obviously. I don't think it takes a rocket science to figure that one out. But this is going to be a blessing in disguise for him. And it's been something that kind of crept in about a year ago. It may not have made mainstream, but he was aware of this. It was ideas and concepts that he had from it, but then he just let it go. He took a rest, and now he's very family orientated, and he's very grounded to his home. If he's got family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, friends, he doesn't want to leave permanently because this is where his people are, and this is what's going to make it uncomfortable for him. But I believe that he will make it public. I don't see that he's made it public yet. This attack, he's still gathering. He's very patient. He's not going to, he's flying off the handle, but he's going to take his time. He's going to be just strategic around this, and he's going to make a move, a business move, and I believe he'll be leaving the UK business-wise and landing his business in the States. That doesn't mean he can't go back and forth, right? But that's why I see he's setting up right now. So let's see what happens. Is this going to happen in the States? I made a prediction last week. If you look at my February 16th prediction for the week, that in the mid part, it hasn't even come yet, but it'll be Wednesday, there's going to be a backlash on media that's going to come in the news, that's going to be very unpredictable and unprecedented, and that it's going to make people question where their news source comes from. It's gossip, it's lies, it's dis and misinformation about dis and misinformation, and this might be one of them. Will they be going after I don't think American podcasters like Joe Rogan are going to be affected by this, but I do believe that the BBC will say we are no longer going to air. So YouTube, let's make an agreement. If you're in the UK, you'll be blocked from the Joe Rogans of the world. I believe that's where they're heading. Let's see what happens.